Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited for today's video. It has been in the works for quite some time now. If you're new to this channel, I've previously had a series called I Try To, where I take inspiration from other creators' work or creative process or just other random films or whatever, and I try and put my own twist on it to learn a new skill. I thought it'd be really fun to throw it back to last year when I tried to recreate Dan Mace's intro for the first time. If you guys have been watching Dan, he actually Belle, come back! You're not allowed to escape me. You're stuck here. Yes, you are my prisoner. Okay, if you guys have been following along Dan's videos, he recently made another intro. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, I have to try and recreate this. I can't help it. So yeah, I just thought it was super appropriate to start off season 2 of this series with another Dan Mace intro, because why not? I've also decided to rename it Playing with Fire, so just so you know, I Try To is now Playing with Fire. It's just a little bit more on brand. Let me know, do you like the name Playing with Fire? Leave it in the comments, even though it's too late because I've already made the intro for it. So if I thought last year's was hard to do, yeah, this year's was like 10 times harder. Before we get started, I just want to quickly talk about the sponsor of today's video, Skillshare. Now, if you guys have been watching my channel for a while, you know I've talked about them before, and it's for good reason. If you guys didn't know, Skillshare is an online learning community with over 25,000 different classes, ranging from design to business to After Effects to other editing techniques, literally anything, any sort of skill you could need as a creative person. They probably have classes on it. For this video specifically, I have been looking at After Effects classes because I need some help. I have zero prior experience using the program, so I had to start somewhere, and here are some of the After Effects tutorials I looked at on Skillshare that really helped me out getting started. And yeah, I'm really excited they're sponsoring this video because Skillshare is a platform where you learn new skills, and this video is about learning new skills. Am I the only one who's excited about that, Belle? I think it's extremely fitting, so thank you Skillshare for sponsoring this video. If you would like to try out Skillshare, if you click the link in the description, you'll get a free 2-month trial. See if you'll like it or not. Support the channel, go check out Skillshare, get a free trial. It's a win-win for everyone. I would really appreciate it. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking and let's get right into the video. I'm getting started with the process of recreating Dan's intro for the second time. I've went through this intro, played it a couple times, I downloaded it so I can go frame by frame, and I wrote it down on this beautiful piece of paper, all the different scenes, I'm calling them, or different stages. So in total I have 10 written down. 1, there's the hand with the text. 2, there's the glitches. 3, the head unravels. 4 is the brain. 5 is Earth Part 1. 6 is astronaut. 7 is Earth Part 2. 8 is the road. 9 is tree, and 10 is the title.
Not normal. Pictures of the bits of my brain, and you can see quick sticks, so we the black sheep. Not normal. Flipping with the switch, me strange. You can say it again and take a back seat. Crazy. Not normal.
Before I even get started, kind of lay down my initial thoughts. Okay, I'm most worried about the last tree scene with the road. Like when the trees go like this, like the earth thing with the brain was, I think, taken photos of, so that's gonna be a little bit easier since I kind of did that last time. If you guys haven't seen the first episode where I tried to recreate Dan Mace's intro last year, I'll have it linked up here if you haven't seen it. Oh, I don't think I've mentioned what I'm gonna do for my own twist, because obviously I'm not gonna be recreating his intro exactly. Last time I made the intro, I just kind of made it and then I never really used it. It didn't really have a purpose. It was just kind of something that looked cool. Since this is Dan's new intro for his new show, I want to make the intro for my new show, which is this series, I Try To. The first thing that I had to do was make the little music clip because I like to edit to music so I know where to make cuts and stuff. So yeah, I just decided to make that first. So in order to make the music clip, I took a song from Epidemic Sound. The cool thing about Epidemic that I really like for projects like this specifically is that you can download the individual stems of the song. So it makes it a lot easier to manipulate the song and make it into what I want. So I just made a quick 20-second segment that I'm going to be using for this intro. So after I had the song down and I could kind of like lay out where I wanted things to go in my brain, I made the animation, which you guys saw the BTS of. I'm filming on my phone because I want to show you this beautiful contraption I've been making. I'm trying to get an up-down shot for the animations. I currently have a water jug being the counterbalance on my tripod. And the shot's looking pretty good. I mean, that's kind of what I was going for. I mean, come on, just look at this beautiful... Oh my god. When it came to putting it together, like on the computer, it was pretty straightforward. I kind of just took the pictures. Unlike last time, they were all at the correct like format already because my camera was steady and not moving around. There were some other things I had to do, like I had to crop out the little star thing in Photoshop so that I can move it by itself, but other than that, it was pretty straightforward. So that animation thing was similar to what I did last year, which is all fun and games, but now comes the fun part. After Effects. And I know I've been talking about After Effects a lot in this video, but that's because it was a huge part of the learning curve of this whole process. And last week I was in California for VidCon, and while I was there I decided to ask my friend Eric, who has a lot more After Effects knowledge than I do, like how he would try and recreate one of these scenes and show me and walk me through that process so that I could try and create it later on my own using the knowledge that he gives me on the basics, if that makes sense. Normally I would just show you this footage because I have half an hour of us just sitting down going through this, but for the sake of this video I want to keep it a little bit more to the point and a little bit shorter, so I can't show you all 30 minutes of that footage. I'm going to summarize what Eric taught me now, and if you're interested in learning the more technical side of how I made the underwater scene or the night scene, I will be making a video on that soon, so make sure you're subscribed so you get notified when I upload that video. Okay, so I just finished editing that first section, and can we take a moment to appreciate the evolution of this idea so far? First, I'm gonna show you the without After Effects attempt and sort of big fail, and then I'll show you what I made with After Effects. Here's what I tried to do in Premiere. So I literally was just like, just playing with like the positioning of stuff and and then this is what it looks like with the After Effects version. I mean, I'm kind of mad that I didn't start using After Effects earlier because I've been saying I'm gonna do it for so long and I just was so intimidated that I never did it. But now after using it for like 3 hours, less than 3 hours, I made this thing from basically zero After Effects experience, thanks to my friend Eric for helping me out. I'm kind of salty I didn't start After Effects before, but whatever. So the biggest thing that I had to kind of learn when using After Effects is that it's a 3D space. Basically what I did was I just positioned these different elements in this 3D space, and at first it's kind of hard to wrap my brain around it because I'm used to working with like an XY graph, right? When you're editing. After Effects, it's X, Y, and Z. I just started placing these different images at different anchor points, and the anchor point is like where it is in the space, or at least that's how I described. Again, I literally just started using After Effects a couple days ago, so take everything I'm saying with a grain of salt. This is just how I did it and how I think of it. I'm just gonna drop in a new image so that you guys can see. Do I have a random image? Oh my god. Robin's gonna hate me, but this is the one thing that was on my desktop. I have this picture of my friend Robin here. It's great. If I want to add it into this image. So take this picture of Robin. Right now he is in the 2D space. So as you can see, there's only X and Y here. We gotta make this 3D. He gotta blend in with the fish, you know? Clicking this little cube here puts him into the 3D space. And now you can see it just automatically placed him at 0. So let's put him kind of in the middle. Just gonna do this. He's like right behind the narwhal. Okay, I'm gonna move him a little bit to the side. So now he's officially in this 3D space. I'm gonna click this button here so that it makes him have some motion blur like the rest of them. So right now, if you just add things in, it's just going to be a static image. You're not going to be moving or anything. That's when you have to add in a camera. To add in a new image or something, a new camera, you just right click and then go down to new camera. And it'll come up with all these settings. I don't really touch these here. So you have to imagine that you have this 3D space set up. Now you gotta move the camera through it. So for example, mine starts at negative 2666 and it moves all the way to negative 1300. You can go down to camera options to make it look a little bit more realistic. Just think about it like if it's a real camera. So I just put in a focus distance, I gave it an aperture to kind of give it more of that motion blur realistic look. It gives it a little bit more depth, you know? So yeah, I mean, that's kind of a very quick version, just explanation of what I did. I mean, it was a similar process for the nighttime scene as well. It was just placing items in that space and then just zooming through all the way to the end. For this dragon scene, I really didn't do anything necessarily special in After Effects. I just decided to keyframe it in here because it was easier than doing it in Premiere. I just found this GIF randomly on Google. It was kind of a pain though to keyframe. If you're gonna track my arm right now, it would be gradual, if that makes sense, but in animation, it's like little blocks of movement. So it can't be gradual keyframes in between those blocks because it looks bad and it'll like overlap and stuff. I don't know if this was the most efficient way of doing it, but I literally went in for every single like time that the dragon moves and made a new like layer, and I did that for every single like frame of movement of this dragon. There were quite a bit of them and it took a while. I listened to 2 full podcasts. So that took a while, but I think it was worth it because it looks pretty cool. This little flame thing, I don't know if this was the most efficient way to cover it up. That's just how I did it. I think I was just done with the dragon at that point. I was just like, I'm doing it this way. Okay, so the last thing in After Effects I want to talk about are these flame pillars. Oh my god. I kind of just laid all of these individual fire things out again in a line in that 3D space, just spacing them out. The camera movement was a little bit more complicated. I literally just played around with the movements until I got it right. And I made sure to look at this grid so that I was leaving the middle like open. Yeah, and I also played with the speed of and the timing of these keyframes to make sure I got it. And then I just like imported it in here and just flipped it. It worked, so I didn't have to worry about like reprogramming it. And then that final title scene at the end with the words, those I literally made the letters. I made the letters out of clay and I just took pictures of them and then I just cut them out in Photoshop, put them on the background, boom, done. That was the entire process. After a lot of trial and error, we finally have the final product. So without further ado, here is my intro for my new series, Playing with Fire, inspired by Dan Mace's Not Normal Show intro. I hope you like it. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I'm super excited to see what you guys think. I'm super excited for this new series, Playing with Fire, just because I have so many big ideas that I want to do. I can't wait to share them with you guys. If you're excited for the rest of this series, make sure you click that subscribe button so that you can follow along whenever I post a new video. If you like this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up, leave a comment below giving me some suggestions for future video ideas for this new series, and I will see you later this week with another new video. Bye!